The lighting on my camera has been the focus on my camera has been pretty crazy, but I think I learned how to focus it much better. And I hope this is better, but you can't really tell because I'm now in the dark in the middle of the night, and lighting is always better when I've got sunlight. Anyhow, I'm going to make... I always hang my favorite recipes up here. I like to put them on the side of my fridge because then I can see the mess, and you can't really see the mess from anywhere else in the house because it's just the stove right there. Make peanut butter, oatmeal peanut butter Scotchies. Here's the recipe. Do I have chopped pecans? I better. We're gonna need a cup of white sugar. I just made snickerdoodles, so I'm kind of low. 1 cup of white sugar. Meow. I like to put this entire recipe, I don't separate dry and wet for this recipe because there's no flour in it. So I find it easy enough to just do it all in one bowl. This recipe came from Mrs. Fields' contest for the best cookie ever. I think maybe Mrs. Fields was running out of ideas for great cookie flavors, so they held this contest and scoured, I think, just America, maybe the world, and they had this huge vote for the best tasting cookie recipe, and they had it tested with judges, with general public, and this recipe was the winning recipe. And it was submitted by this older woman who says that she would bake it for her husband to take to work. And some guy, I think, at her husband's work was allergic to eggs, but loved these cookies so much that he would suffer an allergic reaction just to eat one. This is absolutely my favorite cookie in the world. I will eat it until I make myself sick, which I've done because I can't stop eating it. If the recipe doesn't specify to pack your brown sugar, just do, because generally they want you to. I've got 1 cup and brown sugar in my fingernails. This focus is much better. I'm glad I fixed it. Where's my bowl? Aha! Brown sugar. A 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. That is 1 stick, if you may. 8 tablespoons is 1/4 pound, which is a 1/2 cup. This is at room temperature. I used to, if I didn't bring it to room temperature, if I forgot, I would microwave it, which I don't know if that changed the consistency of my cookies and stuff, or just made the batter too warm or whatever. But I find that they spread a lot easier if you really melt your butter down, so I don't do that anymore. I really just try to be mindful and remember to set it on the counter for a couple hours so it's room temperature. I don't know why I did that. Every single time I make a video, I have a second of, oh, and I make sure I'm recording. Every single time I do it. Just now I was like, oh, it panics me every time. 1.5 cups of crunchy peanut butter. I need all but a 1/2 cup of this because this is 16 ounces and 8 ounces is a cup. I'm also going to add this to my handy kitchen haul, or not haul, what is it? Things I love in the kitchen, because like you can never get the cabinet above the fridge, and that step stool has saved me 1,000 times. I really love it. Now's the best part. Look at that fresh peanut butter. I'm literally going to measure a 1/2 cup. Where's my cat? This is a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. So I set that aside, and I'm literally just going to dig the rest out of this jar and dump it. All the lights, all the lights. It's very dark, all the lights. Let's try to bring you over this way. 4.5 cups of rolled oats. If you don't have rolled oats, you can use half old-fashioned and half instant. I've even used all old-fashioned, whatever you want to. 4. Uh-oh! I literally have to play this back because I don't remember how many cups I put. You have no idea how glad I am that I added that because I thought I only added 3, but I added 4. So I'm going to add a half a cup, which I'm just going to pour this halfway full. Voila. What I failed to do was put the eggs in first. I like to put the eggs in first because then you can fish out the shells if you get a shell in there. If I were to drop an egg into this and I had to fish out a shell, it would be a disaster. So I'm just gonna pop my egg into my measuring cup, why not? Well done. I'm just gonna mix them up a little while I'm here because it'll be easier to mix the egg evenly into the bowl. If I smush it here, it's okay, kitty. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I stress highly the quality of ingredients. If you were to get imitation vanilla, I feel like it cooks out the actual vanilla and tastes like alcohol-y. 2 teaspoons. I never measure vanilla because I love vanilla, so 1, 2. It can never hurt. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 1, 2. 1 entire bag of butterscotch chips. Oh my gosh, I love butterscotch. Oh, I have the pecans. Awesome. Just like that. 3/4 of a cup. 1, 2, 3. Look at this thing, you guys. This is a smart sealer, and it automatically gets hot when it senses that it's in plastic, and it'll just seal your bags. There, I made it easier. I cut off the excess. We're just going to seal it. And then this side. Just like that. And my bag is sealed. I love this thing. I got it from the Home Shopping Network or QVC, I don't remember, and it's magnetic, so I can just stick it right to my fridge. But I put it up here. I just want you guys to see that it sticks. 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup unsalted butter, 1.5 cups of chunky peanut butter, 4.5 cups rolled oats, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 3 eggs, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 1 bag of butterscotch, and 3/4 cup chopped onions. Pecans. It just mixes so much faster and so much easier. My trick to making cookies so that they don't spread is to freeze them. I roll them into balls or whatever cookie size you want, and then I freeze them so that they're pretty firm in the freezer for like a half hour before I bake them. That prevents them from spreading. Don't mind this mess. This is a vanishing oatmeal chocolate chip cookie recipe that I found online through a gal. I'll link her channel. I love her vlog channel. Don't you dare fall down. But she has the vanishing oatmeal cookie recipe from the Quaker's Quaker Oat thing, but they've changed the recipe, Quaker Oats. They've changed the recipe under their lid, and this is the original recipe from many, many moons ago. And she puts chocolate chips instead of raisins. I'm gonna try these because she says these are her favorite cookie, and I'm gonna do a let me try that, and it actually will be a let me try that because I've never tried it before. And I'll give my rating on a scale of 1 to 10 on that. So this is another let me try that to come. If you're wondering why I'm baking so much, it's because we are moving and I'm trying to get rid of all of the flour and sugar and everything before it goes, before we move. Because I don't want to toss any out, and you can't donate open containers. I normally don't like to waste dishes, as you know, but I need to use these pie dishes because they're the only things narrow, short enough that'll fit in my freezer right now because I've got a lot of freezer food. As you know, I make pasta sauces and I stack them in the freezer. And I don't have any room to set my cookies to freeze because our freezer is really small. I'm going to use my favorite cookie scoop of all time. I had to get a replacement. I had the other one for 10 years, I want to say. A very long time. 8 years, 10 years. And it was green, but the back finally got a crack on it. But this is my favorite cookie scoop. Boop, boop, boop. And I feel like this makes the perfect size cookie. I got this from Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah. Best cookie scoop in the entire world. It says to preheat your oven to 350, but I don't do that until I put my cookies into the freezer. It takes about a half an hour. It takes a long time for my oven to heat up. It's a pretty crappy oven. And for the amount of time it takes for my oven to preheat to 350 is about the amount of time I will have these in the freezer. Maybe a half hour, so maybe I'll leave them a little longer. Depends on how firm they get. But I find that there's no point for me to preheat my oven at the beginning of making this recipe because I know that they're going to spend quite some time in the freezer. This smells like you want to eat it. If you've never used this, I love the way it smells. It smells like a buttery cookie. I really like it. My camera picks up background noise really well, so I had the dishwasher running and I had to mute this clip entirely. This recipe is rated a 10. It is a little bit tricky to make though because they will spread and they will crumble and fall apart. So I've written some tips down in the description if you're interested in making this recipe. Basically, freezing them before you make them a little smaller, make them on the smaller side, and that's all I can think of right now. But anyway, it's a 10. Read the description if you want the deets, okay? Bye! See you next time!